Hey guys, so the Terminator Dark Fate trailer is finally here, and like most of you who are huge fans of the Terminator franchise, like myself, you've probably watched through this trailer a few times now. My first impressions for this trailer was okay, and I think there's some stuff in here that works really well, and there's some stuff that doesn't. So I've gone back through a few times now just to watch it a few times and try to get my bearings on everything that we're sort of witnessing, and yeah, I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, this trailer. Firstly, the good. Linda Hamilton being back, of course, is the right decision, for this franchise at this particular point, because I think what's made the earlier Terminator films, T1 and T2, work so well is the fact that the Terminator universe, the franchise, is about Sarah Connor. It's told through Sarah's point of view. The first film, she was this young waitress who gets swept up in an incredible, nightmarish world, introduced to the future war, the machines and things like that. In the second film, the focus does shift to John Connor a little bit more, but the story is actually told through her point of view, as shown through the narration, the voiceovers. So one thing that's worked really well in this trailer for me is bringing her back, and she does have some narration. There is some voiceovers in that trailer, and that's one thing that sucked me back into the universe, was hearing that. And we really haven't heard that since T2. There's T3 had some narration from John Connor. I think there was a little bit in Salvation, and everything was really messy in Genesis, so I really can't remember those sequels too well. But that focus, I think, is one thing that's really helped bring this franchise back on track. The other thing that's really cool as well is obviously having Arnold Schwarzenegger, and to me, he's an integral part of making a Terminator movie work. I think there's some essential components that you need to make Terminator work. Arnie's definitely one of them. Bit disappointed in the trailer that he's not really given much to do, but hence it's a teaser at this point, so I'm actually okay with it. We do get a quick shot of Arnie in there. That's cool with me. It's great to have Mackenzie Davis on this cast. I think she is a fantastic young actress. I really loved her in Blade Runner 2049. I think she's got a very interesting character here, and it looks like she's going to be a human hybrid. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how her character develops in this film as well. So they're the good things that I really liked in this trailer so far. There are a few things that didn't quite click for me. One of the things that doesn't quite feel right, and something that the sequels at least got right, is that they did use elements of Brad Fidell's iconic score. And I think that is an essential component that you need in a Terminator movie to make that work. Now, to be fair, teasers don't always use the movie score, so I'm hoping that when we go to the film, or maybe at a later trailer, that iconic score does rear its head again. That would be really cool to see. The other thing as well is that T1 and T2 had fantastic antagonists, and they were threatening and very intimidating. Robert Patrick was threatening in T2 just from his stare alone. He didn't need to do any morphing or show what he was capable of. You knew this dude was bad, and as a kid watching him, I was so terrified of him. And the same thing for T1 as well, Arnie being the bad guy there. He's intimidating as soon as he shows up on screen. He's an immense physical presence. Now, I'm just not getting the same vibe from Gabriel Luna here in this trailer. I mean, sure, he splits into two, and that looks really cool and stuff, but to me, that's the wrong focus for Terminator. I love the stuff in the Terminator films, particularly the early ones, about how grounded and simple and streamlined everything was. And that also goes for the effects as well. That to me is the stuff that is far more intimidating than watching crazy special effects splatter across the screen. To add to that as well, the CGI effects here, to me the endoskeleton looks completely wrong here. And look, to be fair, effects aren't always fully rendered or completed for teaser trailers, and hopefully everything will look a little bit better once we see it on film. But in my opinion, they've got to stop using the CGI to make the Terminator endoskeleton. We need to go back to Stan Winston's workshop and work with practical effects, like actual props of the endoskeleton to make it look absolutely right. I mean, to me, like in the trailer, they don't even get the color scheme right. Like the endoskeleton itself is actually leans more to a black color as opposed to the standard chrome endoskeleton that we've come to like. To also be fair too, I mean, it is a new model Terminator that we obviously haven't seen before, but to me that's a little bit of a cop-out. The design of it is very similar to other Terminators we've seen before, like the actual endoskeleton itself. So yeah, that just didn't work for me, guys, unfortunately. To me, the over-the-top action sequences are not a great focus at this point. It's as if they're trying to outdo T2, and in my mind, you can't do that. I think what they really needed to do here was strip it back, streamline it a little bit more. To me, that plane sequence looked lifted from any modern generic action film. To me, when I watch T1 and I watch T2, there's an identity, there's something different. It stands out from the pack. This to me looks like very generic modern action. Here I'm actually hoping that I'm wrong when I actually watch the film on some of these points that I don't feel it worked for me in the trailer. Look, overall, guys, I don't think it's a bad trailer. I'm definitely interested. I'm hoping for something better than the sequels, than what we've got. I doubt it's going to top T1 and T2. Again, I hope I'm wrong on that. There's a lot of good stuff going on in this trailer. Having James Cameron back as producer and also story credits, having Tim Miller, who is a competent director, having the cast back, Linda Hamilton, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they're all positives for this film, and I'm really hoping they've cooked up something very cool with this movie. It has me questioning what the story is at the moment. Passing the baton to a bunch of new cast, a story of legacy, redemption, things like that. There could be a really cool angle with some of this. Not seeing John Connor, there could be a really interesting arc here for Sarah as, she's learning how to be a mother again, maybe to some of these new cast members and things like that. So there could be some good stuff. I'm just hoping for a really great story here, and not something that just relies on spectacle. What are your thoughts on the new Dark Fate trailer? Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I would love to chat with you guys about it. Until then, guys, remember, a weekend watching movies is a weekend well spent. Thanks for watching.